All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dakota here with Luxvoni.com, coming at you live today with the one and only Entrepreneurial Psychology Masterclass. This is lesson number 7 of the Masterclass, and I want you to consider this video the final verdict on whether or not you have the right personality, temperaments, and types to make it as a successful entrepreneur. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be progressing through the top 3 psychometric assessment profiles that will stack the deck in your favor and of course make your success inevitable as an entrepreneur. So before we jump into that, go ahead and pull up your Big 5 type indicator on one side of your screen, pull this video up on the left, and we're going to progress through the 3 personality types that really make up successful entrepreneurs. So let's rock and roll. Now, if we're looking at our psychometric assessment right now, of course, we have openness, we have conscientiousness, we have extroversion, we have agreeableness, and we have neuroticism. Now, the ones that are highlighted here in yellow are the most important facets. Openness is kind of subjective. You can still be low in openness and still be successful as an entrepreneur. And believe it or not, extroversion is too. We all know the Elon Musk, the Mark Zuckerbergs, and everybody in between. So I want you to consider the ones that are highlighted the most important to really evolving and succeeding as an entrepreneur. So the first personality type score for an entrepreneur is someone who scores high in openness. Now, this isn't a make it or break it, but it is something that helps because open people are very creative, they're very imaginative, they're very innovative, and as entrepreneurs, what are we doing? We're innovating to solve problems in the marketplace, to deliver value, and of course get paid in exchange for the value that we're delivering to a marketplace, right? So the first one is high in openness. You want to score above 59 to 100% when it comes to openness. High, right? The next one is conscientiousness. This is highlighted in yellow because this is one of those make it or break it personality temperaments, if you will. So if you're getting into entrepreneurship and you want to see if you can make it as an entrepreneur, if you score low in conscientiousness, the deck is stacked against you. You are going to have a very difficult time succeeding as an entrepreneur. So it is recommended to score high in conscientiousness, which is above 56%. So 56% all the way up to 100%. The higher you score, the better you are. Now, people who are conscientiousness are, of course, orderly. They're determined, they're dependable, and they're very, very ambitious, which is a huge perk and a huge supplemental thing to really becoming an entrepreneur, right? The third personality type that we have here is extroversion. Now, in my case, extroversion has helped me be a pretty successful entrepreneur. I think this is one that can support you or it can disable you, but it really comes down to, what type of leadership team you have around you and what other type of resources you have at your disposal. But in this particular personality example, we're going to run with high in extroversion. These are your leaders. These are your innovators. These are guys that are very enthusiastic. They can lead people towards a mission. They can get people to believe in a vision that doesn't even exist in reality and rally people to making that vision become a reality, right? So you want to score high in extroversion here. 52% all the way up to 100% is where you want to be. The next personality type that we have here is agreeableness. If you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, you're not going to be able to succeed with a very high score in agreeableness. You're going to have to be competitive. You're going to have to be self-interested. You're going to have to be very rational. You're going to have to be able to put your emotions to side to do what's in the best interest of your business. So when it comes to this personality profile, of course, we want to score low in agreeableness. So we want to look at that and be below 62%. 63% is the average. Anything below that is great. The lower you score, probably the better for entrepreneurship. And then last but not least, we have neuroticism, which is, of course, highlighted in yellow, just like agreeableness, because this is a make it or break it temperament for an entrepreneur. Now, when it comes to neuroticism, if you score low in this, you're in great shape. We're talking 1% all the way up to 53%. The lower you score, the better you're going to be. You're going to be very stable. You're going to be optimistic. You're going to be self-confident. You're going to be able to manage tons of stress. You're going to be able to find solutions to problems and innovate your way out of those problems. And this is a really, really important one. So again, neuroticism is highlighted in yellow because it's a make it or break it for an entrepreneurship. So let's go through this again. Openness, we want to score high. Conscientiousness, we want to score high. Extroversion, we want to score high. Agreeableness, we want to score low. And neuroticism, we also want to score low. Now, the second personality score that tends to make up a lot of super successful entrepreneurs, and on this particular situation, we have openness. Openness is high in this situation. So we want to be high in openness to where we can innovate, we can be creative, we can be, very imaginative and bring our vision to reality, right? So that's the first one. You want to score high in openness. The second one here, again highlighted in yellow, is conscientiousness. We want to score high in that. Anything above 56% all the way up to 100%, the higher your score, the better you are off when it comes to entrepreneurship. So people who are conscientiousness, they're very orderly, they're determined, they're dependable. We all talked about this one numerous times, so you guys should know what that's about. Now, the big difference with this personality profile is, of course, extroversion. You don't need to be extroverted to be a successful entrepreneur. You've seen the Musk, you've seen the Bezos, you've seen the Mark Zuckerbergs. This isn't a determining factor of whether or not you're going to be able to succeed as an entrepreneur. So the difference here is it's reversed. Now we're talking about introverted, low in extroversion. So these people are very reserved, they're very calm, they're very introspective, and you can make it with a personality temperament that scores very low in extroversion as an entrepreneur. The next one that we have here is agreeableness. We want to score low in agreeableness again. Again, this is highlighted for a reason. Very important factor here. We want to be between 1 and 62%. We don't want to score high. We want to score low in it because this makes us competitive. It makes us very self-interested, and it makes us rational. And some of those individual things are very important to entrepreneurship, if you will. The last one that we have here is, again, neuroticism. We want to score it very low in that so we can be stable, emotionally stable, optimistic, and very self-confident. So that's very important. So let's recap the second personality temperament here. What we got high in openness. We got high in conscientiousness. We have low in extroversion. We have low in agreeableness. And we have low in neuroticism. So the two highs are open and conscientiousness. The rest are below average or low. So if you have this personality temperament and you're looking over your psychometric assessment right now, you're in good shape. Now let's move on to the third. Now the third personality score for entrepreneurship is broken down into these pieces. First, we have openness. You don't have to score extremely high in openness to be a successful entrepreneur. Believe it or not, I score average in openness, a little bit below average. I think around 52%, if you will. Now, I'm very traditional. I like habits. I like routines. I'm very structured. So my conscientiousness score is like 96%. And that, hurts me when it comes to openness. So I've been working on this for years now, trying to increase that. And I'm more at an average score now than I was before, which is great. But again, openness, we want to score average here. So between 50 and 58% is completely okay. So we can still innovate, we can still be creative and all of that. The second personality temperament here, again, conscientiousness. This is a very important one, which is why it's highlighted again. We have to score high in that. So that's very important. Extroversion is the next one, 1 to 51%. We're scoring low in extroversion here. And then agreeableness is low, and then neuroticism is also low. So what do we have here? We have average in openness, not high. We have high in conscientiousness. We have low in extroversion. We have low in agreeableness, and we have low in neuroticism. So what does all this really mean? And what can you do if you don't have these personality temperaments? Well, you need to work on them. If you're getting into entrepreneurship, one of the make it or break it things, the two personality facets that are most important, to be quite frank with you, is one, neuroticism. If you can't get that under control, you're not going to make it as an entrepreneur. The next is conscientiousness. Very important. You got to be very dependable. You've got to be strong-willed. You've got to be willing to push until it pushes back and then be able to push some more. That's what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. And then agreeableness. People who score very high in agreeableness, they find themselves very overwhelmed as an entrepreneur because they can't prioritize their best interest over other people's. So it's very important to score low in this. So if you're a super agreeable person, it will hurt you when it comes to becoming a successful entrepreneur. You're going to have to work on that. And if you want to see how you can reverse that, of course, go back to the lessons before in this masterclass and work on that a little bit and get some context on what you can do to get that agreeableness score down. Now, this is the next one here. And then what we'll do is on the next video, we're going to progress through some live Q&A. All the questions, all the comments that you guys posted in the YouTube videos up to this point, we're going to progress through those. I'm going to answer them one by one. So if you have any questions, make sure you put them in this video. That concludes this video, the final verdict. The next video of this program will be lesson number 8, where we're going to be talking all about questions and answers. You drop a question, I answer. We're going to talk about psychometrics. We're going to talk about personality profiles, and we're going to talk about what you can do to stack the deck in your favor with your personality type to become a successful entrepreneur. And then after we wrap that up, we're going to get into some mindset stuff, some real good stuff that's going to really change the game for you. So we hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the day. Be great. And remember, you're just one funnel away. We'll talk to you soon.